Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
Today's best music, Magic 89.9. Wherever you are, I hope you're cozy. My name is Zoe, and welcome to another artist interview from home. So sitting down with me today is an American singer and songwriter whose music is exactly what painting in color would sound like. Vivid and infectiously good. Say it with me, everyone. Salutations, Adam Turley. Tell me how you're doing today.
Salutations. I like that. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing incredible now that I'm talking to you. Where are you based right now?
So right now I'm in Utah, moving to sunny, hot Arizona next week for a few months.
All right. So what we like to do, Adam, before we start our interviews is to break the ice with a game of sugar or spice. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Remember, sugar for yes, spice for no. We're going to start with the famous question. Number one, pineapples on pizza.
Spice.
That's okay. That's okay. I have completely accepted that nobody will understand the joy that is pineapples on pizza. That's okay. Number two, backpacking.
Sugar.
Sugar. Okay, that's great. Number three, mint chocolate.
I
see you thinking over there. Do you like it?
Yeah, but it's like never the first choice ever. What is that? Is that like in between sugar and spice?
I'd say it's still a sugar for you because it's obviously a hard spice for a lot of people. But yeah, that is very interesting that you would say no to pineapples on pizza, but yes, somewhat yes to mint chocolate.
Hey, so come on now.
That's okay. Everybody's got their own thing. Number four, rainy days.
Sugar.
Sugar. Same here. Number five, astrology.
I'm gonna give that a spice. I mean, no shade to it, but I'm not super interested, I guess.
I feel that. I totally get that. All right, cool. So now that we've established that you and I could never be friends because of pineapples on pizza and mint chocolate, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about your latest single. And it's called, ironically, I Like That. So it's in our playlist right now and it's getting tons of requests. And it starts out soft, but leads into this bouncy vibe that you can't help but love. So walk me through it. What was the inspiration behind that single?
Well, lyrically, it was totally about, I actually wrote it at a writing camp over the summer in Colorado. And when we were sitting down to write the song, we were trying to feel out like what I was feeling and what I wanted to write about with my co-writers. And I was like, I don't know, like nothing's wrong in my life right now. Like my life feels really good. My relationship with my wife feels really solid. Like there's no drama. And so that's what we ended up writing the song about. That's why like the verse says, got no drama. Cause the whole song was just about like, I never thought I would get to a place with someone where things felt this good, you know?
Oh, well, I think that art is what it is, you know, and it's what you're feeling. And I think that we could always use some more positive music, you know, especially with everything that's going on with the world. So do you write or produce all of your songs?
Yeah, I do. I'm self-produced and I used to write a lot of stuff alone. And honestly, now I think it's way more fun to write with other people. It's so, and it's interesting because when I would write alone, I'd write a song and the first thing I would want to do is like show someone, right? And so why not just make music with other people where you're like both feeding off each other's energy and like both so stoked on it. So I love my collaborators, my co-writers now. I think it's my favorite way to work for sure. But yeah, to answer your question, self-produced, co-write a lot.
Okay. And you mentioned that you were in some camp earlier and I'd love to hear all about your process. So how does a song usually start out for you? And I'm always curious about artists who self-produce. So how does a song start out and how do you know when it's ready? Yeah,
those are great questions. So it honestly depends on the song, but I think since I like am a producer as well, you know, ever since I started like getting really deep into production, a lot of ideas come from like a beat idea or like a sound that I pull up or something like that. And we just build off of that. And my favorite way to make music is when we're writing the song as we're producing it. So like we're making a beat that inspires a melody, that inspires a lyric, and then you know what I mean? So everything is like very intertwined and connected. And the funnest thing to me as an artist is to have a session and, you know, a 3-hour session. And we come out of that session with not only like a written song, but like, it sounds like it sounds like a song that I would put out. You know what I mean? It's really, really satisfying.
Yeah, totally. I think that's also inspiring for a lot of people who are trying to get into collaboration right now, since a lot of them start out as, self-produced as you did. So since you are in a really good place right now, I am curious though, what is the most difficult thing to write about for you?
The most difficult thing to write about.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think like lately I've written a couple songs, or like one song in particular. I don't even know if I'm going to put it out. I should.
Mm-hmm. You should.
That like, I think the hardest thing is to write things about that are like really honest to you, that are like scary, because you don't want people to know like really what's going on in your life and brain,
Yeah.
And it's really scary sometimes to like lay some of that on the table and just like let people think what they will, with it. So that's probably the scariest thing to write about. It's nothing specific, but like anything that, is that way to me is difficult to, I would say it's like easy to write about actually, because it's so honest, but it's difficult to like actually put it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's delve into your music some more. You gradually released tons of songs over the course of 2020. Congratulations to that. And if you had a word or an emotion to encapsulate your music from last year, whether it's sonically or about your lyricism, what would that be?
That's such a good question.
Take your time. I really like it when you take the time to really absorb, because I know that I'm going to get a really honest answer.
I mean, hopefully like eclectic, like at least that's like the way I try to make music is, I really, and some people probably think this about me, which is fine, but like my goal as an artist is I want to constantly surprise myself, and I get bored of like making the same song over and over again. So even with like the new stuff that's not out yet, I'm really just trying to push myself. And over the course of last year, I really tried to kind of create different textures and different feels, and different emotions. So
I could definitely hear that. So who would you say are your biggest influences for the way that you sound?
Where do they sound? Oh my gosh. I have so many. I feel like it's like a bunch of random songs and artists that I like that like influence my sound, if that makes sense.
It does make sense if you describe your music as eclectic. It definitely makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the end of the day, I listen to a lot of pop music. I've started to get a lot into hip hop lately. But like my biggest influences of all time are probably John Mayer, John Bellion. Those are probably my top two like favorite artists of all time.
Same there. John Mayer for sure. So one thing that I also couldn't help but notice is how cool your album artwork looks. And as a self-produced artist, I'm sure you have an interesting answer to this. It's got squares stacked upon each other, but the colors would vary with every other track. Is there a hidden meaning behind the design for your album artwork?
We'll leave that to everyone to keep guessing and try and figure it out.
Okay, I tried. I really, really tried, because fans really get into that. How we're all our own detectives and sleuths trying to figure out the symbolism behind an artist's everything that they put out. So, okay, fine.
Yeah, just all I have to say is like, keep watching, pay attention. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Adam, I've heard that you are, or at least you used to be, the type of person to spend most of your days in your bedroom studio, crafting music with passion and delicacy. So one thing that I can say for sure is that your music and you yourself are an inspiration to other bedroom creators out there. In fact, lockdown has turned us into bedroom people. So if you had a message that you could relay to us bedroom folk who are trying to produce something good amidst everything that's continuously going on, what advice could you give to staying productive or staying creative at a time like this?
Your questions are so good.
Thank you.
This is a good question that I need to ask myself too, because it's very normal and easy to get in. First of all, I would say like, know that it's normal to get into a creative rut. It's so normal. And the biggest thing I would say is like, at least that helps me, is get out when you can, exercise. That helps my creativity so much.
Yeah.
Honestly. And don't overthink everything. Like let If you're an artist, if you're a musician, let the song be what the song needs to be, and don't be so precious about it. Like, you'll have another good song that turns out exactly the way that you need, but let the art be what it wants to be. Sometimes it wants to go into a certain direction, and you as an artist think, oh no, that's not me, or like, that's not what I'm going for. But just let the art be what it's going to be, and like, you just focus on making a lot of it, and some stuff will be really good and you'll love it and you'll put it out, you know?
Yeah, that's golden advice. Let the art be what it wants to be. I'd buy that as a poster. You should get into contact with whoever makes your merch and put that on a t-shirt or something. So that's great advice from American singer and songwriter Adam Turley. Thank you so much, despite the schedule and everything. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this, Adam. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. It was a really pleasant conversation, and I loved your questions.
All right. His single, I Like That, is currently on our Magic playlist. Vote for it. Listen to it. Your ears will thank you. So stay safe and healthy, everyone. My name is Zoe. Have courage and be kind. Have a great day. This is today's best music, Magic 89.9.